I'm going to set up and help you play the Kelp Forests Microecosystems card game, but this video is not meant to replace the rules document. Please also read the rules document to help you learn how to play. To set up the game, separate the cards into 3 decks: the event deck, the ecosystem deck, and the kelp deck. There is a note on the front of the cards telling you which card belongs to which deck. Shuffle each deck. Place a level 1 kelp card face up in the center of the play area. Place the event deck and the kelp deck to one side of your starting kelp card, and place the ecosystem deck on the opposite side. The discard pile will be next to the ecosystem deck. There are 2 phases per turn: the kelp building phase and the ecosystem building phase. A turn starts with the kelp building phase. The player who chose the keystone species role will be kelp builder first. This player starts by drawing 3 kelp cards and choosing 2 of them to add to the center of the table. Note that a level 3 kelp card cannot be played at this time. The remaining kelp card is placed at the bottom of the kelp deck. Next, the kelp building player will draw 1 event card without looking at it and chooses a kelp forest to add it to. It remains face down. Finally, the other player, or the ecosystem builder, draws 3 cards from the ecosystem deck, chooses 2 appropriate ones to play, and places them face down in the desired kelp forest sets. The remaining card is either placed at the bottom of the ecosystem deck or reserved for the next turn. Note that only level 1 and level 2 ecosystem cards could possibly be played this turn because of the available kelp cards in play. All face-down cards are then simultaneously revealed, and effects activate, if applicable. Players choose which order effects activate. The next turn, players swap duties as kelp builder and ecosystem builder. Once 2 turns have passed, 1 round ends. In this sample turn, they have a level 3 forest and a level 2 forest, and they have played 2 event and ecosystem cards. The goal ecosystem card requires them to discard a specific card if able, so they choose to discard their crab card from that set. Next, they choose to resolve the human event card, which requires them to discard 2 crab, fish, whale, or otter cards if able, so they must discard their otter and fish card, since both happen to be appropriate targets in that set. Finally, they resolve the sea urchin card. This card puts their forest to the maximum negative kelp value of 3, so they are forced to discard everything in that forest. The event and ecosystem cards are discarded, while the kelp cards are shuffled in with the kelp deck. In this sample turn, players have 2 forests and were forced to play 3 event cards since it's round 4. 1 event card must go on each pile. Then the final 3rd event card's destination is chosen by the kelp builder. The 2 ecosystem and 3 event cards are revealed and actions resolved simultaneously. In the first forest set, the killer whale requires an otter or gray whale to be discarded if able. But since neither is in that set, they can freely place the killer whale without discarding. Also, even with the urchin, that forest has not reached -3 kelp points, so everything remains. In the second forest, since both an urchin and an otter were revealed this turn, they choose to use the otter to discard the revealed urchin and thus saving their forest. Because they played the gray whale in that set too, they must discard the brittle star, since it is listed on the whale's card. This time, let's see how end-of-game scoring works. Count all the positive value points on each card found in the top right corner. The rockfish and jellyfish cards give players extra points if they are a part of full 5-card kelp forests. Since there are 2 rockfish in this set, they get plus 6 extra points. Even though urchins can be very bad, they do count as plus 1 point in your ecosystem. In the second forest, since the jellyfish is not in a full forest, it is only worth plus 2 points overall. The human is part of the ecosystem, but is worth no points. So this final set is worth only 2 points, while their first set was worth 19 points. Don't forget to use your roles, like the keystone species, throughout the game to help you win. Score at least 25 points as a team to win.